everyone, I'm FM Greeno and welcome along to episode 7 of the GREENO Tour. So we almost reached the end of our first season with Stirling Albion. We've just got one game left to play. And a little bit of a confession to make here. I made a little bit of a boo-boo. I was planning to bring you back for the last 2 games of the season, so we'd see whether we could win the title, whether we'd be in the playoffs, whether we'd miss out on everything. And we'd been on a good little run of form. And what I hadn't noticed is that on our third to last game, where we went away to Edinburgh City, who were one of the people who were challenging us at the top of the table, well, we'd beaten them, and Queen's Park have somehow fallen away completely, and I accidentally won the league with 3 games to go. So bringing you back for the last 2 games seemed a little bit pointless. We were already confirmed as champions, so we're going to just do the last game today. We are away at Stranraer, and then we'll go through some of the end of season stuff, ready for the preparations over the summer to move up a division. So we were together last for that Dundee United Cup defeat. Form went off the boil a little bit after that. We lost to Stranraer, we did beat Cowdenbeath. We could only draw with Edinburgh and Stenhousemuir, and so I thought the wheels were falling off a little bit, but the catalyst for a bit of a change of form was this game where we beat Queen's Park 2-0 at home. That really set us on a much better path for the end of the season and seemed to be the catalyst for Queen's Park falling apart too. So from then on, we won every single game we played. And if we take a look at Queen's Park, you can see here, after they played us, they did beat Stranraer, but they lost to Albion Rovers, lost to Stenhousemuir, lost to Elgin, could only get a draw against Edinburgh, and that is what has handed us the title on a plate. So we go into this last game against Stranraer with a pretty strong squad. A couple of people out today though. The goalkeeper, De La Paz, is out. He's on international duty, so Pelmar Bassi comes in. More than adequate backup. Dane Murray, who I'm thinking we might even try and get back on loan next season, he's struggling for fitness. He's had a bit of a knock recently, so Bufanana is in the midfield. Other than that, it's pretty much the 11 I'd like to put out. So let's get into that last game. And so here we are, away at Stranraer. Probably a fairly breezy affair with them being out on that coast. I've been really happy with the way form has been going. Obviously, like I say, it was a bit of a surprise for us to win the title earlier than I thought we were going to. I'll take it though, of course. Next season, obviously, is going to be a bit of a step up, going up a division. So we're going to have to make some improvements to the squad. We've already had the budgets come in for next season, and they've put about another £2,000 on the wage budget. We are going to be moving quite a lot of players out, I think, too. There's a number of players out of contract who I'm not going to look to renew. So I think we're probably going to end up with about £3,500–4,000 of wage budget to play with, which will be more than adequate, I think, for the strengthening I want to do. I think we've got some players who are definitely good enough to make the step up. I'd say Ryan up front, Bikey out on the left. Jones the centre half, for example. I think we're pretty good in midfield. We could maybe do 1 or 2 extra bodies in there. Defence, I think, is the one area that we really need to strengthen. Like I say, Jones is a good centre half. Can we get in here to score? No, Ryan can't quite tuck it away. But we've got quite young, inexperienced fullbacks who've got us through this level. I just don't think they're going to be ready for the step up next season, so they'll either become squad players or maybe I'll send them out on loan for a bit more experience and see how they develop. Well, that was a fairly uneventful first half, wasn't it? So, we owe Stranraer after what happened in our last match. They did beat us last time we played them, so that'll do as a little flea in the ear of the players for the second half. Hopefully they'll perform a little bit better than they did in the first half. I think we've had the better of the game, but nothing too highlight worthy. So yeah, so I'm pretty optimistic about how next season's going to look. Obviously we've already shown in our cup games that we can mix it with teams in higher divisions. Though whether we can do that on a regular basis or not, who knows. This game is completely uneventful, isn't it? Have we even had a highlight yet? I don't think we have. So let's make a couple of changes and see if we can. Let's give a couple of players a game who you haven't seen too much of this season. So we're going to bring Kylian Buzet up front. He'll come on for Andy Ryan. Maybe we'll bring Watters on in the midfield. He can go in as a ball-winning midfielder. Shall we make one more change? Yeah, let's get Hamash on. He's done pretty well every time he's come on for me. We'll take Bikey off, I think, and swap Okoflex over the other side. See if that makes any difference to how things go in the last 15 minutes or so. Still nothing really happening, so this is a completely and utterly pointless game to show you. 5 minutes to go. I think we've gone through this entire game without a single highlight, haven't we? I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. There we are. It'll keep the episode a little bit shorter because obviously we've still got the end of season stuff to go through. So, yeah, 0-0 draw to finish the season. Well, after that terribly drab 0-0 draw, we come through to our end of season review. So let's see what we have to say about things. So, new arrivals. Well, obviously we had quite a lot of them over the season. You can see here we brought in a load of players. Some of whom you've seen quite a bit of, some of whom not so much. Dylan Bikey seems to have been the favoured one, and he wasn't even one of my signings. He'd come in over the summer before I signed on, but nice to see the likes of Johnny Mitchell and Lloyd Jones and that there. The season results. Well, obviously we finished as champions. We've been expected to reach the playoffs, and we more than surpassed that. 672 home attendance, so hopefully we'll be able to build on that next year. Obviously, it's only 17% of capacity. We have got a lot of room for growth. I think the stadium that we've got is definitely good enough for the next level up and the level beyond that in the Championship. In the unlikely event that I'm still here and we get to the Scottish Premiership, there may be some improvements needed, but certainly for the next couple of levels, more than adequate. So the board are very happy that we'd won the league. Moments to remember. So the biggest win, 5-1 against Elgin City. The match to remember was that pivotal game against Queen's Park where we beat them 2-0. And the goal of the season scored by Langer. Free kick from the edge of the area. He scored a few of those towards the end of the season. So our success has definitely helped the club's finances. Sold a massive 88 shirts. Okay, I don't think Nike and Adidas are going to be falling over themselves to try and win that business, but again, hopefully we can improve that as we move up the leagues. But we've done okay. How we've lined up. So this is the 4-3-3 formation that we used for most of the season. So De La Paz, regular goalkeeper, Van Denemeel, Connor, the young right back. His rating hasn't been good. He's one of the players I'm going to be looking to upgrade, certainly. McGregor and Verhelder were the two most used players in there. Obviously, Lloyd Jones came in towards the end of the season. Langer, Murray and Mitchell. Bikey on the left. Hamash on the right. Obviously, Okoflex came in and kind of took his place towards the end of the season. And Ryan up top. So, the accolades. We won 2 Manager of the Month awards, November and April. Fans Player of the Season, unsurprisingly, Andy Ryan. What a great season he's had. Look at this. So he ended up with 22 goals in 27 league games, a bunch of extra goals in the Cups. Overall, 34 goals in 35 games. Young Player of the Season, Marcel Langer. Well, he's 24, so he's not that young. Signing of the season, Dale Connor. Well, I would kind of dispute that a little bit. He's played a few games, but he's not great. Most overall goals, as we discussed, Andy Ryan. Most clean sheets, Palmer Bassi. The oldest goal scorer, Andy Ryan, at only 26. Well, that just goes to show what a young squad we had out. So, here we are. Your hard work and effort paid off on the pitch. Such a feat didn't go unrewarded. Our end of awards ceremony. So, we've won the league. We dared to dream. Thanks for a great run way back at the start of the season. The promotion dreams have come true. So here we see the club vision and expectations meeting for next season. There's a few things in here I'm a little bit concerned about because they don't really suit the way I play the game. So they want defensively solid football, direct football, and counter-attacking football. Well, I don't mind the counter-attacking bit so much. Even making the most of set pieces. I think we can probably do that. Especially if Langer stays in the side. He's strikes a very mean free kick. But these two, it could be a bit of a problem for me. But we'll see. Work within the wage budget, 2-year contracts for the first team, and they want to grow the club's reputation and finish mid-table next season. All achievable, I think. We just might have to change the way we play a little bit. As you can see, Queen's Park have triumphed in the playoffs, so they're going to be coming up to League One with us. Peterhead are the team that they beat in the playoff final, so they'll be coming down to League Two, along with Montrose, who were relegated by finishing bottom of the table. So, obviously we've got a busy summer ahead, so I'm going to play through that, all the pre-season, all the transfer business we're going to do, and we'll come back at the beginning of next season and see how we're set up, ready for a charge on League One. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. The game in it was not much cop, was it? Yeah, undoubtedly the worst one in the series so far, but I hope you enjoyed the end of season review and, well, and the season as a whole, to be honest. We've done a lot better than I expected. Winning the league, nice little cup run as well. So, yeah, all positive going into next season. If you have enjoyed this episode, please drop a like on there for me. And if you've got any comments about this particular episode or the series as a whole so far, I'd love to see them below too. And of course, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Lots more fun to be had on this GREENO tour. We're only one season in and who knows where it's going to take us. Of course, we have the Mighty Magyars, the save where I am managing Hungary as well. There's plenty of content in there for you to enjoy. So yeah, come and hop on the Greenobus. Plenty of room for all of you. It just remains for me to thank you for watching, and I will see you at the beginning of next season for some more action with Stirling Albion. Bye for now.